Take a look at the price of Bitcoin now at record levels.
The Bitcoin price continues to make new all-time highs. I want to share with you the real reason Bitcoin is going up, as well as what's next.
You guys know this. We have states now that have passed crypto reserves. Countries, sovereign wealth funds are buying it.
I'll also share with you the latest altcoin news, so you have all the information to make the best decision for you as an investor. That's why you subscribe to Altcoin Daily for an edge investing in crypto by staying informed. And there's really 5 big reasons the Bitcoin price continues to go up. You will not believe number 5, but number 1, United States institutional investors are buying. These are the daily inflows into the US Bitcoin ETFs in May. So the US is buying. Number 2, global liquidity. Maybe, just maybe, it was this easy. We already know the Bitcoin price has a strong correlation to the global M2, aka the amount of money in the system, not just from the United States, but globally. If the correlation holds, that should at least take Bitcoin above $140,000 per coin in the next few months. And by the way, let's always double check this. We can look into this ourselves. We'll talk about Golden Cross in a second. But if we just get rid of these simple moving averages for a while and turn on the global M2 index, and we see, although Bitcoin could have a little cool off short term, we see the run rate that Bitcoin still has to go. And if we adjust this, we can put it right here, that's 100% over $140,000. Up to 180, but let's be conservative, say at least 140. Again, this correlation does not need to hold, but it has held for 80% of Bitcoin's existence. Reason number 3 out of 5, again, this is before we get to this killer altcoin news. Reason number 3 out of 5, the Dow sinks 800 points as the bond market starts to freak out over Trump's tax bill. So Trump and the Republicans in Congress are in the act of passing a tax bill which cuts taxes significantly, and the bond market reacted to the downside only because this is adding more debt to the country. And the bond market, if you're only getting 5% for locking your money in a 20-year treasury or a 30-year treasury, 5% interest for locking your money away for 20 years, not that worth it. So bond prices came down, yields have gone up.
So let's just talk about bonds in the simplest way possible.
And I loved this explanation from global macro investor Raoul Pal. Let me share it, then react.
The tariffs were not the story. The story is and has been liquidity. And with bonds, there's a lack of liquidity in the bond market. So we have a liquidity that's driving scarce assets, stocks, Bitcoin, gold, crypto. But bonds, which are not a scarce asset, because guess what? They issue a ton of bonds, squared, and they keep issuing more and more bonds. So what happens is bond markets start rejecting the issuance.
Bond markets are correlated to traditional markets, specifically the United States. And when there's chaos or change in markets, investors freak out. Yet it's Bitcoin and gold, 2 of the only assets on Earth that are sort of seen as something else. So the more chaos happens this year, or just uncertainty, let's just call it uncertainty, the more of that, the better for Bitcoin and gold, narrative-wise. And that brings us to the big one, number 4. This is huge. Now, I do have to say, many of you were asking about this. Sui tokens are being hacked. It's actually Sui's biggest liquidity provider hacked for over $2 million, causing Sui-based tokens to plummet. The token specifically is actually their largest DEX, so this would be like Uniswap getting hacked on Ethereum, which would be horrible. Cetus is Sui's biggest liquidity provider and decentralized exchange. This was the exact update from Cetus as of this morning. As of earlier today, we have confirmed that an attacker has stolen approximately $223 million from the Cetus protocol. We have took immediate action to lock our contract, preventing further theft of funds, meaning the Uniswap of Sui is locked up for protection. 162 million of the compromised funds have been successfully paused, meaning they're frozen, which is good because that means the hacker can't liquidate them. We are working with the Sui Foundation and other ecosystem members right now on next step solutions with the goal of recovering remaining funds. This is their highest priority, and all tokens, price-wise, took a hit from this. And that's not to say all the tokens were hacked. It's just a narrative thing. The wallet tied to the Cetus protocol exploit currently holds over 12.9 million Sui, approximately $54 million at current prices. That is a fear that they liquidate that. The good news, and Altcoin Daily will always share you the full story so you have all the information to make the best decision for you. The good news is Sui Protocol is an over $12 billion coin, meaning if they sold everything, $54 million, that's not even a 1% drop. It also is worth mentioning that Bitcoin, market mover Bitcoin, has officially overtaken Amazon as the 5th largest asset, hitting $2.16 trillion market cap. This is that visualization. Bitcoin just surpassed Amazon in value, in market cap. It's now more valuable than Amazon and Google. And in order for it to eventually surpass Apple, the Bitcoin price would have to be valued at around $150,000, so about another $40,000 to the positive, $150K to surpass Apple. But also keep in mind, Bitcoin and Apple, just like Bitcoin and Amazon, aren't really competing for the same market. It's actually Bitcoin competing with the gold market. And that brings us to the 4th big reason that the Bitcoin price is going up. Stick around for number 5, that's even bigger. But number 4, the Golden Cross, which happened as of yesterday or today. Bitcoin price rose into the Golden Cross, which we suspected. We've seen that every other time it's happened. The Golden Cross has to do with moving averages. If you need a beginner's guide on exactly what I'm talking about, check out this video right here. Shocking things happening with Bitcoin behind the scenes. We go into specifics on what a Golden Cross is. But let's just add some perspective to this. Since the Golden Cross has already happened, and that's when this yellow 50-day moving average crosses over the 200-day moving average, signaling short-term bullish trend change, we see right here, Bitcoin rose into that 50-day, rose into that Golden Cross, then actually dumped into it on the day. And then we were in a bullish uptrend. Bitcoin immediately started going up. Next time we saw that happen was at the end, or the time before we saw that happen was in 2023. Again, the Golden Cross is a lagging indicator. So we saw the Bitcoin price rise up into it. Everybody was expecting this huge monumental thing. But we know on Altcoin Daily, it's a lagging indicator, meaning the event already happened by the time this happens. And Bitcoin just sort of traded sideways. Nothing big came after. And again, we see a similar sort of thing in mid-2020. So what does that mean to you? That means this is a big reason Bitcoin went up. Technical analysts trading it. Also, if you're trading anyway, be sure to join the tournament for trading bonuses for a prize pool. All you basically have to do is click enter now. You must click the button to enter, even if you already have a BitUnex account. And you can get VIP 3 status for a month. Many great incentives. You must use code Altcoin Daily, link down below. But speaking of this Golden Cross, and I would actually also say the stablecoin bill, which is expected to be passed as early as this Friday. So 2 big events pushed us up. What I would suspect, and I cannot see the future, make your own decisions, I would expect a little pullback. Not today, but the days following the Golden Cross, maybe on Friday or the weekend after the stablecoin bill gets announced. Maybe it'll be a buy the rumor, sell the news. The good news is, as long as we stay above this blue line right there, it's already on screen, $69 or let's say $71,000 Bitcoin, anything else is still an uptrend, anything else is still a higher low. I do not suspect we'll dip as far as $70,000. At worst, just like we've seen in previous Golden Crosses before, will ride along the 50-day moving average. Right now, the 50-day moving average is around $93,000. Maybe in a few days it'll be 94. It may not even happen, but if it does, that would be a healthy pullback. And now the big one, number 5. Click the like button if you're getting value in today's video. But it should be noted before we get to Bitcoin, CookieDAO, which I'm an advisor for, they are decentralizing InfoFi, meaning a crypto data layer specializing in AI-driven reality, but just a data layer for the blockchain.
Being of a Google background, when I came across Cookie 3, I was like, Cookie 3 is the Google of Web3.
Honestly, it's just a tool in your toolbox if you want an edge investing, if you want the full picture. Well, Cookie Snaps campaign, the first Cookie Snaps campaign is live. What are Cookie Snaps? Well, it's a rewards and airdrop campaign that tracks and ranks X users by their social engagement and sentiment. Some of you guys on crypto Twitter heard of Cato's Yaps. That was essentially a loyalty-based bonus system. It's something similar to that in the sense that if you consistently put out quality posts about a specific project, you get rewarded in snaps, which will turn into rewards.
How do you actually get snaps? So you get snaps for posting high quality content about Spark on crypto Twitter.
So I know you've asked me before for alpha, how do I earn the alpha? Well, you're getting in early on Cookie Snaps. Their first campaign literally hours ago went live, cookie.fun. And that, of course, brings us to the fifth reason Bitcoin is going up, because there's a mathematically scarce supply. And there's global FOMO who finally understand. Years ago, this was not clear. Now this is clear. It's understood that volatility is baked in, meaning entities and individuals are buying Bitcoin today. They don't care that Bitcoin's at $110,000 because they're holding it with a 5-year, 10-year, 20-year outlook. Join us at the Bitcoin conference next week. We are speaking with Eric Trump, Justin Sun. They're on our panel, as well as the CEO of Kraken, higher up at eToro. It's going to be so cool. Use Altcoin Daily as a code. Like all, we see you tomorrow.